All right, everybody. Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up at the right guard position. And I'll tell you, when you get down to the bottom here, kind of gets depressing, kind of gets tough. It's hard to find guys. It's generally considered to be the least valuable position on the offensive line anyway. And once you get down to the guys you're looking at for backups, it's you're really scraping. I gotta say, I gotta admit it. Gotta be real here. So just trying to feel out the guys who would make sense to bring in on maybe like a minimum deal. The guys who would make sense to like get for literally 1.2, 1.3 million dollars. I got a few names, but I can't say they're that much better than just some random UDFA that you can get for even cheaper. Because the UDFAs, their cap hit first year is going to be what? 600, 700,000. A decent savings from even a cheap veteran. But the guys who stand out to me, and by stand out to me, I mean not stand out to me at all, but guys who would accept that veteran minimum backup role, you got Dan Feeney. Dan Feeney been bouncing around the league for a little while now, about to turn 30. The nice thing about him is that he plays all over the interior. He's like a John Feliciano, except while John Feliciano is okay, Dan Feeney has not been okay for some time. Played mostly right guard last year, or excuse me, 2 years ago. But last year he played center primarily. The year before that, it was center and left guard. Year before that, it was center. So he's all over the place. The thing is, he's not really that good at any of it, right? Like, you look at a guy like John Feliciano, and he's pretty decent at all three interior offensive line positions. Dan Feeney is physically capable of it, but only in the technical sense of, yes, he can move his arms and legs in the way that he needs to play the position, but he's not actually very good at it. And at his age, unlikely he'll be much of a scheme fit anymore. We see it all the time with these older offensive linemen. They just lose something. So, yeah, Dan Feeney, he's like your quintessential backup. And these guys need to exist in this league, right? Not everybody can be Jason Kelsey. Not everybody can be Creed Humphrey. Not everybody can be elite. But this guy is on the other end of that spectrum. Max Garcia would be another guy I would look at to maybe bring in as a backup. He's another guy who provides utility value. He can play left, he can play right, he can play center. And again, it's hard to really say he does any of it all that well. But again, there's a place in the world for guys like this. By the way, he is about to turn, he's going to turn 33 actually mid-season. So age is starting to really be a problem for him. So yeah, this one's tough too. You got to go back pretty far to find seasons where he actually played good, and his version of good was very much like replacement level, right? But again, you have that versatility. I mean, I think the only reason why these guys are still in the NFL, guys like Dan Feeney, guys like Max Garcia, is because they're versatile. And you can at least say, well, yeah, he's not good, but at least he's not good at three different positions and provides me some coverage. So you bring in a guy like a Max Garcia or a Dan Feeney, it frees you up to maybe only carry 9 offensive linemen instead of 10. That's, to me, the primary value of these guys. You just need somebody occupying the roster spot. Final guy would be Cody Ford. Never really found his groove. This was a former second-round pick. This guy was considered to be a really good guard prospect. Big guy, very strong, played for the Oklahoma Sooners and their really prolific offense back then. He's only 27, so he's entering his prime, but he has found nothing. And they played him kind of all over, too. He's played right guard, left tackle. I think he's played some right tackle as well. And he just can't find his groove. So, again, this is one of those guys who just exists to be a backup in this league, and nothing wrong with that. But you can probably get him for the veteran minimum, which is for him, a guy like him is going to be, what, 1.2? And again, you do technically have some flexibility because he can play a couple different positions, but you're going to be very, very unhappy every time he steps out on the field because it means somebody got hurt and you've got somebody out there who just isn't very good. And we've had enough of guys like this coming through Seattle recently. So personally, I'm hoping we can aim a little bit higher than these guys, but I like to present all possible paths. And if the Seahawks decide the path of let's just cheap out at the backup right guard position. Let's cross our fingers and hope that Anthony Bradford is good and hope that he stays healthy. And that is a viable strategy. Teams do it sometimes. Teams do occasionally. And I would say that a lot of teams kind of have to adopt the strategy of just, we need to hope that guy doesn't get hurt. If that guy gets hurt, we're in trouble. So it's not completely ridiculous to suggest. And that's the end of right guard stuff. I know it was kind of a little bit of a difficult slog to get through all this because these are some guys that are just, I mean, the right guard position's already kind of disrespected as it is, but we did what we could. And tomorrow we should be moving on to the defense. We're going to take a look at some defensive line stuff, take a look at some linebacker stuff, get back to things that are a little more engaging and interesting to Seahawks fans. But we got to do all our homework. We don't get to just do the homework that's fun. We got to do the homework that's boring too. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks.